All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Lucifer versus Fly taking place here on Concealed Hill. Over here on the top right-hand side of the map, we have Michael spawning as the yellow undead. Or excuse me, Lucifer spawning as the yellow undead. All the way on the other side of the map, we have, well, Fly by process of elimination spawning as the blue orc. Orc versus Undead in this 1v1 matchup. Still waiting for that barracks. The timing should be coming online just momentarily. Meanwhile, Altar of Darkness Crypt also coming into play as well, as we should be looking at, well, where are those acolytes? A little bit of a delay on the training of those acolytes, actually opting to go for a crypt and an Altar of Darkness very quickly before training that unit. So I believe that is the case. Yeah, just the number of workers and all of that. This is not working. All right, so unfortunately for us, we will not be able to keep track of the population counts nearly that easily. My apologies, but there are things that are beyond my control. Now, what is going to be going on in this 1v1 matchup? It is going to be a Death Knight opening up, going up against a Blade Master. No surprises there. Still waiting for a Voodoo Lounge, or if we will be going for a very fast tech to tier 3. It looks like it is going to be that Voodoo Lounge now. That Voodoo Lounge will allow that Blade Master to do a little bit of earlier creeping before getting to level 2 and have the necessary items to heal back up. That is the option, and that's really important when going up against the Undead. The hero nuking ability of the Death Knight early on, being able to death coil that Blade Master, and that damage really adds up. By adding up, all of a sudden it shuts down your Blade Master, and then you're waiting for a right opportunity to heal. If you're making your Voodoo Lounge from behind, well, things tend to just fall apart a little bit, and time is a very important resource when you are playing in a game such as this, in a real-time strategy. Alright, you can take a look at their Fly purposely aggroing the Blade Master enough so that the Grunt can join in on the fight. Grunt now purposely backing up there. Blade Master quickly picking up a Circlet of Nobility, will sell and now pick up double Scrolls of Speed, waiting for the Healing Salve charge, and there you go. Grunt also heading off to the north here, and I believe he thinks that the Death Knight is going for early Crypt Fiends. He's going to try and clear out this creep camp here, or spot his opponent clearing out that creep camp, and that is just not the case. Meanwhile, we are getting Rings of Protection +3 from these early drops now, and well, that makes a very sizable difference. Doubling the armor on that Death Knight, adding in a little bit more, well, just longevity to that unit can cause a little bit of problems. Ziggurat now coming in for the Cold Tower. Oh, Graveyard could have been pressured down. Blade Master going straight after a low hit point Ghoul, as that Ghoul now trying to head back every which way. Low hit point Ghoul has to be very careful. Nerubian Tower now back online. Graveyard was cancelled, and that is a significant loss there. Meanwhile, you can take a look at Lucifer. Lucifer gonna go ahead and use that Scroll of Town, or Scroll of Speed, in order to get away. The Nerubian Cold Tower not enough to debuff it, as well, there it goes. Blade Master able to back off. Double Circlets of Nobility, picking up another one from the shop. And now, well, the Blade Master looking to see where exactly that Death Knight has crept. By knowing what your opponent has crept, you have a good idea of the overall level on that hero. The last thing you want to do is make a judgment call based upon a level 2 Death Knight, only to see that after a small unit is killed, it gets up to level 3, and then you're now dealing with a much higher bit of damage. Alright, Giant Sea Turtle gonna go ahead and get taken down. Cloak of Shadows quickly picked up right there. There's Dust of Appearance. Blade Master is revealed once more, and we are not going to be looking at a Death Coil unless the Death Knight opts to try and disrupt that healing. That's what you saw right there, and he's glad to change or exchange a Death Coil for a Healing Salve charge right there, as the Death Knight, well, Death Knight basically traded 75 mana for a little bit of gold. Alright, gonna go ahead and aggro the creeps here. Blade Master quickly uses Windwalk. Yes, the Healing Salve did go away by using and fighting at that one fountain there. He's still gonna be doing a good bit of healing. Grunts are now running around every which way as well. Blade Master still sitting at level 1 though. Death Knight is at level 2. And well, with the Death Knight now at level 2, Unholy Aura is on the table. Blade Master perhaps going to go after these Null Wardens and Assassins. These particular units have the higher DPS, and they have lower hit points and also medium armor. Knowing the type of units you're fighting against and knowing what to target and aggro is incredibly important in terms of timing. Blade Master picks up a Tome of Agility, will be able to get some extra damage. Meanwhile, Death Knight going after the giant sea turtle on the other side of the map, steals a Mantle of Intelligence from his opponent's creep camp. A little bit of a trade for the Cloak of Shadows lost from the other side. Blade Master doing a good job keeping this army alive. We should be getting into tier 2, now going into tier 3, as the Bestiary is also coming online as well. Meanwhile, in the other end of the woods, we are looking at a Sacrificial Pit. Sacrificial Pit right there. Are we perhaps going to be going for, well, a Slaughterhouse and a tech to tier 3? I do believe that is going to be coming online momentarily, as the Blade Master, is it going to purposely try and, oh yes, get in a surround on the Ogre Lord? Nicely and beautifully done right there. A 5-unit surround on that Ogre Lord, making it much more difficult for that, that Ogre Lord to make its way back out. It also pulls and separates the creeps very, very far apart, as we're now looking at a Hood of Cunning, Agility, and Intelligence on that Blade Master. I don't know if that item is actually better on the Shadow Hunter, though, since the Shadow Hunter really wants a large amount of intelligence as well to, well, keep the army alive and well. We are looking at a single crypt, but we are also going into gargoyles. Interesting choice. Gargoyles are generally trained up from double crypt because of the longer building time, I believe. And, well, a large amount of resources you generally hold on to. Lich, now going to be in a little bit of trouble, takes a Death Coil. Death Knight sitting at level 2, almost at level 3. Going to finish off the Huntsman there, but really no level ups. Alright, plenty of mana on that Lich. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Grunts now moving about. We are going into Wind Riders. Wind Riders versus Gargoyles. No big surprise that the Gargoyles will win out on that fight, especially since the Death Knight, I believe, has Vampiric Aura. Vampiric Aura on those Gargoyles. They will be healing 6 to 7 damage per attack when fighting against those Wind Riders, and that does add up over time. Meanwhile, Blade Master looking to finish off the Mud Golems here. Going to go ahead and continue to engage. There's a quick Hex on the Forest Troll High Priest, well, making this creep camp significantly easier since there's not constant healing of these units. Alright, back across over here. Potion of Greater Healing both on the Blade Master and the Shadow Hunter. Still no Spirit Link, though, as I don't believe we're going to be going into the Tauren Totem for Spirit Walkers. Spirit Walkers a little bit of a double-edged sword in this matchup, as we are now going into Obsidian Statues and possibly also Destroyers. Alright, let's take a look at this. Red Drake taking a large bit of damage. Shade is nearby, offering True Sight. Meanwhile, the Gargoyle taking a lot of damage right now, getting backed off there, as you will see that unit getting taken down. Wind Rider in position, trying to perhaps focus down some of those units. There's a quick Hex onto the Lich. Lich is in trouble. Is it going to be able to get away? Yes, it will. Quick Death Coil to save it, as the Blade Master now finishes off the remaining portions of the creep camp. There is a Troll Bat Rider out in play as well. It can suicide to deal a large amount of damage to those Gargoyles, but more importantly, they are there for the Destroyers. Forest Troll Berserker, final unit to get taken down here. Shadow Hunter needs a lot of healing. Should really be fighting off over here to get benefit from that healing. Not quite sure why it isn't. If you have the option to fight next to a Fountain of Health, why not do so and make it worth your while? Alright, Shadow Hunter sitting at level 2, almost at level 3. Now Death Knight wandering over, sitting at level 3. Lich is sitting at level 2, aggroing and pulling back those creeps once more. You're going to see the Ogre Magi finally make its way over, as both sides, well, creeping in different necks of the wood. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 3. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1. Blade Master, is he revealed? Yes, he is. Got to be careful. Picks up the Tome of Agility, though, and that little bit of extra damage could, well, help out. Blade Master, is it going to be able to get a Purge down or a Purge Strike onto a unit? That is the big question. Blade Master is revealed, going after the Obsidian Statue. There it is, a large bit of damage. You could perhaps be looking at another Purge, and all of a sudden, Lucifer going to be losing a very expensive well, powerful unit in that obsidian statue. Let's take a look at the overall population supply. 35 compared to 50. Fly is in the definite driver's seat of this game. He has the hero level advantage. He has, well, even on tech, but has a substantial army size advantage. Back across over here, you see the orc burrows have been fully upgraded. No weapons upgrades currently underway. It looks like, well, wind riders and grunts not upgraded at all, as the Tauren chieftain, well, is looking for an option in its upgrades. Down across over here, Tauren chieftain already up to 6 armor. Ring of protection +4 will make a big impact in this matchup here, as the Null Overseer will get taken down. All right, down it goes. Tauren chieftain picks up a pendant of energy, as we see a pocket great hall quickly being placed down as well. Perhaps some watchtowers should be thrown up here to try and offer a bit of protection from the eventual, well, orc burrow. Perhaps, yeah, offer a bit of protection for the things that can go wrong, or the pressure that will most likely ensue. All right, Blade Master going to go ahead and try and engage against the Forest Troll Berserker. Forest Troll Berserker gets taken down. We are now looking at an ensnare from the Ogre Warrior. In comes some more units, as the unit's now looking to back off here. Lucifer getting up to 50 over 50 supply now, compared to 52 over 60, as it is 2 bases compared to 1. Now, there goes that Ogre Magi here, fighting at a Fountain of Health. When you're fighting against your opponent who has their back against the Fountain of Health, it is very difficult to know when to engage. Blade Master still nearby, could perhaps get some easy damage going after some of those destroyers. Death Knight, well, Tauren chieftain now in trouble. Is it going to try and engage? It finally gets woken up. Another sleep, and multiple sleeps from that Dreadlord, as the Shadow Hunter is going to be in trouble. Quickly surrounded by mass ghouls and taken down. Lucifer getting in the quick kills there. However, a quick ensnare onto the Lich. Lich, potion of invulnerability in time, followed by the Death Coil. A great follow-up 1-2 punch, as the Death Knight, well, could try and go after the or Blade Master could go after the Death Knight again. Death Coil coming across. No Shadow Hunter means no easy healing. Kodo Beast slowly digesting a ghoul, but it's going to give him an upset stomach, and he will have, well, as people in the professional industry say, or professional competitive eating will say, a reversal of fortune. All right, Blade Master going to go ahead and engage here. Forest, or a Troll Berserker, taking a lot of damage. That negative armor coming in from that Orb of Corruption, not doing much to reduce the amount of damage here, as we are now looking at the Orc Burrow currently under duress. Our Orc Burrow down to 400 some odd hit points. Tauren chieftain throws down a stomp, gets in some damage here, as we're looking at some grunts and some Blade Masters still trying to fight it out. Blade Master is in serious trouble, as Fly is, well, under a lot of pressure to try and keep this base alive. No easy healing now. Repair on the burrow here, as it looks as though, yeah, gonna get it finished off. Blade Master ready to engage. Tauren chieftain trying to fight, and the real problem has been, since the Shadow Hunter is gone, the Blade Master has not been able to stick around and play very much. This base, well, the peons are all very vulnerable to attack. Shadow Hunter should be making its way back out right now, as the Death Knight gets up to level 4. Shadow Hunter, well, still got about another 10 seconds to go, as the Blade Master, well, needs to heal up. All right, let's take a look. Some of those skeletal maidens will get taken down, continuing to battle it out. Blade Master trying to, well, get into the proper position, as we're looking at a great haul about to get taken down here. No, well, make your opponent pay if they're going to be able to take down your expansion. Make it not easy at all, as we're going to take a look. A quick sleep onto the Blade Master. Quick death right here. Death Coil saves the Destroyer, and everyone will just get up and leave. A tactical retreat in order to minimize losses. 45 over 50 supply compared to 51 over 60. Lucifer, the definite victor in that last battle, shutting down the expansion, being able to level up, and also finishing off the Shadow Hunter early on to make that battle just go his way. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, Destroyers quickly finishing off that last, I guess, Forest Troll Berserker. Shade looking to see where exactly that Tauren chieftain, Blade Master, Shadow Hunter army is, as the Shade now keeps track of this army here. 0-0 upgrades, 0-0 upgrades. Blade Master currently revealed What is it going to go and find? Are we perhaps going to get a sleep down? No, no sleep. Blade Master easily able to get away, even with that negative armor, or the 6 armor, rather than its normal 9 right now. Blade Master going to get healed back up. Remaining easy creeps going to get finished off here. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Lich is at 3. Dreadlord is at 2. Vampiric Aura still on the Death Knight. So that means Carrion Swarm most likely for the Dreadlord. And that Carrion Swarm could come into play if all of these units start to group together far too much. Kodo Beast looking to join in on the fight. That Blade Master up to plus 23 attack with an item slot available for more damage still. Blade Master, where is it going to try and perhaps engage and look for that next fight? The faster attack speed from that Blade Master could make a very big difference, as he also has a ranged attack right now. All right, Tauren Chieftain, big stomp, doing a lot of damage to multiple ghouls. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used by the Shadow Hunter now, but he will need to get away very, very quickly. All right, quickly heals. However, the Shadow Hunter down to 27 hit points. Is it going to be able to escape? Buys a Scroll of Town Portal, forcing his opponent to try and engage here, as well. Shades all on retreat. All right, there goes a Raider there. And, well, Raiders being able to ensnare, but it was just a little bit too far from that Shadow Hunter to survive. Burning a Scroll of Town Portal, taking down the Voodoo Lounge. All of that in that battle here as both sides sit at 1 bases each. 50 over 60 supply compared to 45 over 50. Who is going to come out on top now? Shade still keeping track of all of these units here. Let's take a look. Altar of Storms, no real losses on the main heroes as the Tauren Chieftain quickly gets silenced. There's a stomp, and it's going to try and finish off all of these units here. A lot of those, poor ghouls out of position. Scroll of Town Portal, Blade Master looking to finish off some units there, as it looks as though the ghoul will be able to get away. And, 43 supplied now compared to 45. Still pretty much neck and neck, with no one having a clear advantage yet. Tauren Chieftain, Shadow Hunter with a level 4 Blade Master. 4 on the Blade Master compared to a 4 Death Knight. I believe it is a 3 Lich and a 2 Dreadlord. Fly having the hero level advantage, but is that going to really translate to a sure victory? Pendant of Energy dropped. Tauren Chieftain waiting to get back into that at least 250 mana range before picking it back up. Nope, gonna be picked up by the Shadow Hunter instead. So the Shadow Hunter with the necessary items to, keep his army alive and well for quite some time. I don't see a Pocket Great Hall. We are looking at Watchtowers now being placed down. There is a Shade quickly getting taken out, as a Sentry Ward was in position to spot all of this. Now, Lucifer's options. At this point, he should be setting up an expansion here. You can take a look. There's only one easy null. I don't see an Acolyte making its way over. I would have thought an Acolyte would be trying to set up an expansion soon, as he doesn't have that much gold in the reserve. There you go. There's that Acolyte on the move now. We're going to see a Haunted gold mine here, as those Acolytes will transition over. Meanwhile, Fly setting up an expansion now. Fly setting up an expansion by starting this Watchtower, trying to give it a little bit of defense before really being forced to move over with those units. Shadow Hunter, is it buying anything? Not quite sure. Has full mana. There is that Haunted gold mine now off to the north, as the Blade Master now makes its way over. Blade Master, could get caught here. Shade is catching sight of this. Blade Master could easily just get a Purge strike off. There's a quick Hex. Purge breaks it. There's a Death Coil to try and save, and then Frost Armor to keep the unit alive again. Blade Master is currently asleep, as the units are now making their way around. Tauren Chieftain going to get in position. There you go. There is another sleep now, as the ghouls are off to the side. Death Coil in position, or onto the Destroyer to try and finish off more of these units. Troll Berserkers getting taken down. Blade Master, where is it? Blade Master a little bit far away, as the Kodo Beast trying to focus down the Destroyer. Are we going to perhaps be looking at a Carrion Swarm? Death Coil. Death Knight still shows up. Lich fighting its way through. Healing Wave bouncing around. as we're looking at a big stomp across multiple units again. Kodo Beast, however, gonna end up getting taken down there. Blade Master finally finishing off that obsidian statue, continuing that fight. Another big Scroll of Town portal after a stomp, as the Blade Master is gonna force a retreat from Lucifer. Blade Master still sitting at 4, Shadowhunter sitting at 4, Tauren Chieftain sitting at 3. No real leveling up on either side. Lich is getting closer to 4, and the Dreadlord is now very close, or just hit 3 as well in that previous fight. But still, no one with a clear advantage. Now, Lucifer, as he expands here, he should be able to start pulling some acolytes away. You can see a bit of repairing here. This gold mine is nearly mined out. These acolytes should be making their way over already to try and, well, be much more effective in terms of their usage. Also, we are not looking at any sort of defensive ziggurats either. Expansions, well in play. Great Hall gonna be done here in just a moment. All of these peons gonna be here ready to go. Great Hall now done, adding in more gold, already back up to 190 as mining and normal operations begin at the expansion. All right, 40 some odd seconds left at the main base. Meanwhile, the expansion only has 1 acolyte currently working on it. This expansion with 5 full peons, as this the main base is about to get taken down. Only 4 peons off over here. We are now going into Wind Riders once again by Fly. And with no real Crypt Fiends part of Lucifer's army, those Wind Riders may actually get a lot of damage going. That is the scary part of this. We are also going into Abominations with Disease Cloud as well. What is going to end up happening next? I still don't know. The battle is, well, as I've said, just taking a little bit long as both sides are just going into their respective corners. 1 Ziggurat turning into a Nerubian Tower, Tomb of Relics, just in case a battle is going to take place at the natural. What you want to be able to do is buy items and really have a home field advantage if you have the gold to spend. Death Knight with a Potion of Mana, Abomination in the front line, Acolytes now making their way over, Blade Master keeping track of everything, Staff of Teleportation, and also 9 armor on that Blade Master, heads off to the north again. Plus 8 agility, Blade Master are going to quickly get revealed. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Sleep, and that is a very nasty 1-2 combination. Is it going to... Oh, Potion of Invulnerability forced to be used, as we saw most likely another Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, or excuse me, a Frost Nova come into play to try and slow things down again. Blade Master cannot afford to try and shadow Lucifer's army, as a shade has just been causing so many problems. All right, Disease Cloud causing some issues for for that one particular sheep. Meanwhile, back across here, 0-0 upgrades. Lucifer with significant upgrades, 2-1 upgrades on his units, as opposed to the 0-0 upgrades by Fly. Blade Master going to be ready to go. We are 24 minutes into this game, and still no one has a single level 5 hero as of yet. Destroyer and Ghouls finishes off 1 easy building. Now going to try to go after the barracks as well. Blade Master is going to go ahead and go after the Lich. However, Lich with the Death Coil, Frost Nova, Blade Master quickly uses a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, trying to stay alive still. Lich could be in trouble. Death Coil saves him again, and constant burst healing from that Death Knight causing problems. Alright, Obsidian Statue looks like it will get taken down. Yes, finally gets taken down there. Meanwhile, more focus firing on both sides as the Death Knight now looks to get away. Perhaps going to be unable to save that particular Obsidian Statue either. Death Knight constantly getting slept. More Frost Nova, Carry On Wave right there to try to finish off more units. Low hit point Ghoul could get taken down. I believe it will get taken down right there, as the Shadow Hunter still has plenty of mana ready to go. Healing Wave onto the Blade Master. A Potion of Lesser Invulnerability onto the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter needs to get a Healing Wave on him to try and stay alive and have it bounce and dance around, as there goes another Destroyer. Shadow Hunter still dancing around in circles. Kodo Beast could try and eat and digest another unit. Lich is in trouble, down to 113 hit points, trying to get away. There goes the Lich. Lich gets taken down at level 4. Tauren Chieftain now puts his foot down, going to be able to stop a ghoul. Lich now resurrected at the tavern, sitting at level 4. Scroll of Town Portal being used as well as the guard tower, or excuse me, watchtower here starts poking around. Building some key buildings in the middle portion of the map. 31 supply by Lucifer compared to 58 by Fly. Fly is in the driver's seat, and as long as he picks and chooses his fights wisely, he should be able to carry this game. You can also take a look. There is also an abomination in the belly of the Kodo, as we're also looking at another pocket great hall being placed down here. Shade wandering back and forth, and it is going to be 2 bases to 1 here in just a moment. More obsidian statues getting added in. Lich sitting at level 4. Death Knight at 4, Dreadlord at 3. As the Shade finishes doing a little bit of scouting, and the expansion is up and running by Fly. What is the next necessary play to make? That is a big, big question. Back down across here, let's take a look. Troll Berserker in that frontline spot. Meanwhile, what units are getting added in? We are getting in more obsidian statues. This will be the 3rd obsidian statue. Perhaps we will be going into destroyers as well. Sitting at 43 over 80 supply. Lucifer needs, well, to be able to burst down that Shadow Hunter like you saw in an earlier scrimmage. Once that Shadow Hunter is gone, the longevity of the Orc army really falls off. Well, it falls off like a precipice, or, well, you know what word I'm trying to use. It falls off quickly, and the effectiveness of this Orc army, well, because that Blade Master is unable to be in the front line, causes a bit of issues. All right, let's take a look. Shade is off over here. Wind Rider going to come across. Are we going to be looking at a sleep? There is, well, up to level 5 already. A big stomp there. Blade Master going to continue to fight here. Sleep onto a Wind Rider, as the Wind Rider going to go ahead and continue to engage. All right, another big stomp right there. Death Knight trying to fight back. However, the destroyers are finishing off many of those ground units as the destroyers head back up onto Blight. While on Blight, they do regenerate hit points rather quickly. Add in that Unholy Aura level 2, and, well, they are healing at 400% normal healing rate, as the units are now looking to back up again. Shade keeping track of the army. Blade Master in that frontline spot. Blade Master able to get off a couple more strikes onto the destroyers, as the destroyers are dancing back and forth. Wind Rider still unable to get into that frontline location where it really needs to be. Meanwhile, the Dreadlord, if it can just simply land asleep, it will be in a much better spot. Kodo Beast has finished digesting its, well, lunch. 36 supply now compared to 39 supply now compared to 59. A 20 supply difference as the Tauren Chieftain now goes after some of the production buildings of Lucifer. Lucifer on the move over. Let's take a look at this. Triple Kodo in the back. What does this all mean? Sleep onto the Blade Master. Kodo Beast could easily start eating some units as the Shadow Hunter is in trouble. Potion of Healing. Nope. Scroll of Speed now being used. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 5. It could try and Healing Wave itself. Unable to finish off that Shadow Hunter. The Shadow Hunter, well, gets a big hex off onto the Death Knight. Death Knight unable to get a Death Coil now. May try and Death Coil. Wait, what's going on? The Death Knight now down to 220 hit points. Going to be forced to fight inside here. And, well, it looks as though the Nerubian Tower and the Black Citadel providing enough cover support as the armies are going to switch over here to the expansion once more. Shadow Hunter is at 5. Blade Master is at 5. Tauren Chieftain is at 4.5. As of, well, soon to be 555 with significantly stronger economic advantage. 2 bases, or excuse me, is it? It's 2 bases to 2, or 2 bases to 1 at this stage, excuse me. As a low hit point Grunt, well, wanders off a little bit away from the rest of the army. All right, let's take a look here. Shade keeping track of everything. Wind Riders are all in position. There is a bunch of Wind Riders up in the air. Should be able to easily focus down a couple of those ghouls. However, the Troll Berserker going to get taken down right there. Death Coil trying to save some more units. However, the Destroyer now down again. Blade Master sitting at 5. Lich here still ready to go. The skeletal minions continuing to fight back here as the Lich is in a little bit of trouble. All right, Hex onto the Death Knight. Death Knight gets taken down. Stomp onto the Lich. Lich gets taken down. And there is the GG. Lich and Death Knight both fall along with the Dreadlord. And Fly takes the game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.